Hi everyone and welcome back to my channel. So in case you're wondering why is this video coming up again, because you may have watched it last night or today morning, it was blocked by YouTube algorithm because I forgot that I had some running match in the background, and yeah, YouTube seemed to consider that it's up to a license claim and they blocked the video. So that's why I'm redoing it. Alright, having said that, in this video I'm going to talk about the Kenin Muguruza Australian Open final. I'm going to break down the match, we're going to look at the match statistics overall, then set 1, set 2 and set 3 separately. But before we do that, a big shout out to Sofia Kenin, big congratulations to her. At 21 years of age, new Grand Slam champion at the Australian Open, so really well done. Alright, so let's get down to it. If we look at the overall match statistics, first serve percentage, first serve win rate, second serve win rate, overall winners, unforced errors, aces and double faults. These are the stats I'm going to look at. So Kenin, good first serve percentage, overall 74%, the win rate 64%, and overall second serve win rate 65%, which is a staggering number in fact. 28 winners, 23 unforced errors, 2 aces and 0 double faults. So this shows that she was really concentrated and super focused, no double faults in the match. It's always good from a winner's rate. She has a positive 5 record, which is also good. If we compare this to Muguruza, overall on the match, only 57% of first serves in. She's won a high number of the first serves, which have gone in, 74%, but on the second serve, the win rate is only 31%. She has more winners than Kenin, more aces than Kenin, but she had 45 unforced errors in total and 8 double faults. These double faults were hurting her pretty hard in this match. So if we break it down in the first set, which Muguruza has won 6-4, Kenin's first serve percentage was 74, first serve win rate was just above 50, so 56, and second serve win rate was below 50%, which is always a bad sign. She had 9 winners, but a high number of unforced errors at 15. And compared to that, Muguruza was putting 61% of the first serves in. Win rate on the first serve was very high, 80%. Second serve win rate was abysmal, actually, only 23%. But since she was doing so well on the first serve, that was enough to compensate, and she managed to get the first set 6-4, as I said. From a winners count, she had a lot more winners than Kenin, a lot more unforced errors as well. But she was the one dictating more in the match, and she was a little bit overpowering Kenin at times, so this is what has won her the first set. If we go on to the second set, again, Kenin 74% of first serves in, very consistent on this number. She's improved on the first serve win rate from 56 to 79. And what's super impressive here, 2 things. She's really cut down the unforced errors, made only 2 in the entire set, had only 8 winners nonetheless, but this really low number of unforced errors has helped her tremendously, and she was doing incredibly well on her second serve, so she has not lost one single point when she was serving with her second serve. Muguruza, by comparison, put only 43% of her first serves in. The win rate was on the first serve 67, on the second only 50. She's put 8 winners in court, just like Kenin, but has had 9 more unforced errors. So Kenin winning the set 6-2. Moving ahead to set 3. So Kenin still very high up on the first serve percentage at 72%, 67 win rate on the first serve, 71 on the second serve, which is still super impressive. 11 winners, only 4 errors, 1 ace and 0 double faults. So that means that Kenin in set 3 and 2, so in the last 2 sets, she's put in court only a total number of 6 unforced errors. and Muguruza has hit 29 in the last two sets. So that's one of the most important and decisive things that have swayed the match in, in Kenin's favor. So in comparison to Kenin, Muguruza has improved on her first serve percentage in the third set. She went up 64. Win rate was 72, which is quite good, but only 20% on the second serve. So low win percentage on the second serve, 17 on forced errors in the third set again. So these are the crucial factors which have determined that Kenin has won the third set 6-2 as well. Another crucial point in the match, which I think swayed the match into Kenin's favor, was the fifth game of the third set. When Kenin was serving, she was love 40 down, and she rallied back in that game. She came up with winner after winner, really going for her shots, wonderful, super grueling rallies, and yeah, she managed to pull it off. And after that, after saving that game, she has not dropped one more game in the match. So this is briefly a recap of what happened in the women's final. Another thing I want to talk about is Kenin's potential place in the women's game overall. If we look a little bit at the numbers, we can see here that in the last decade, in the last 41 Grand Slam tournaments, we had in total a number of 20 different winners. And we have in general only one player winning at least 5 slams. There's no player who would have won 4. One player has won 3 slams, that's Angelique Kerber. 6 players each have won 2 and 1 slam respectively. So we are very much in an era in tennis where we don't really have somebody dominating the game. We used to have Serena Williams starting in 1999 basically, where she won her first Grand Slam. She had dips at times, but she was a very consistent player in terms of winning Grand Slams. Even after 30, she's had an incredible run, and she's right now at a total of 23 Grand Slams won. But if we look at all the other active players, Maria Sharapova being the next one, who has 5, that's really no comparison. So we don't really see any big rivalries. We don't see any big players who would have won a lot of slams in the last decade. We had Anand and Clijsters in the last decade, so from 2000 to 2010 mostly. Anand has won 7 slams and Clijsters 4, so that was another pretty interesting rivalry, and this is something I feel like I'm missing in the women's game. Right now, if we look at players like Jelena Ostapenko, who has won 1 Grand Slam, Caroline Wozniacki, who also has won 1, but she just recently retired. Sam Stosur, somebody at the age of 35, 36, 2011 US Open champion. She's definitely not going to win a lot more. Sloane Stephens, about the same age as Garbiñe Muguruza, probably also not going to win a lot more slams. Bianca Andreescu, Sofia Kenin and Ashley Barty are the other names where we have 1 victory each. I think these 3 could potentially win a lot more among each other. Other players who potentially might win a few more, Simona Halep, I think, has a good chance to win at least 1 or 2 more. And yeah, of course, Naomi Osaka. So she's also somebody who is quite young, at 21, almost 22, I think. So she already has 2 slam titles. She's been pretty consistent at the end of 2018, beginning of 2019, but since then she hasn't really shown really good results in Grand Slams. But that might change in the near future. So my question to you is, what do you think? Do you think in the women's game, players like Kenin, Andreescu, Barty, but potentially Coco Gauff in the near future may be players who will win a lot of slams, and they might get to double digits in winning Grand Slams? Please let me know what you think. Comment below. In case you like this video, please consider subscribing, since I'm going to continue releasing weekly tennis videos. Thanks for watching, and see you next time.